and for whatever the stores we have, we required the some pre-configured information here, like when we are defining any store, so we can say that each store is having its own document series. uh, each store is having its own salespersons, default salespersons. There can be a different, uh, GL determination for the store. So all things can be controlled or configured, but to configure the store, these standard document series, we need to define it. We need to define the sales employee. We need to define the GL account for that. We need to define the like warehouses for that. So whatever the things are required to open any store in the B1 Bazaar, so we'll see that basically you can see here as well. So for that, what is required? One is that you can, when you say add, so you can give your store code manually. So you can give any store code manually. Uh, like if you want to create S009, that you can give it, and so you can give a name for this. So when you are giving this, so that time definitely you have to fill it out all this information here. So when before that, because it there the possibility or like chances in initial stage, definitely you have to create all these series, warehouses, and the tax codes and everything. So first of all, what we will do is that uh, definitely we required the warehouse. So that is, we have to define a warehouse first. Okay, so in as a warehouse, there can be a two kind of the, like uh, mm, there can be a two kind of warehouses we can keep or we can propose directly. One is that each stores can have front and backroom warehouse, because there can be one of the display warehouse and another can be a the storage warehouse, which can be there. So in each store, at least two warehouses need to be configured as an initial setup. So front warehouse will get linked to the store. Okay, so that need to be, we have to link it that as well. And this is the one of the setting available is there. That is the like user assignment also available, that we will see after creating the warehouse and all other things like for the store. So when you are doing this particular like creation of the store, you have to define the warehouses first. Then you have to create the document numbering for the each store, because each store is having the its own series. And initially definitely you may need to create one series directly, like you can see here, store number 001, 007, 009, and 008. So you can create one of the series first, and you can, once you create one series in your database, which you can define it, and the store with the store code, like you can keep series according to that. So how many stores are there, according to that you can configure the series. But after creating one series in all documents, okay, that is, once you create one series for one store, later on what you can do, there is facility available to generate series. Okay, so in that, what you can do, you can take one of the base series, and what will be your new series name, you can say as 010 will be your the series name. And what prefix you required, you can say the prefix will be the 10, and how much the length of your total document will be the 8. You can say it like this, and you can say generate. So it will generate like series in all documents here, which are, you know, already this base series you have been created in which document, wherever that particular series is getting in the system, for that document this new series will get created. So this way you can say the generate series. You can set the series as a default from here itself, and you can delete whatever the series you have been selected. Those series also you can delete it. So in this way you will be able to, like, configure the multiple stores like quickly, and series also quickly you will be able to create for the multiple stores. Initially definitely one series you need to define it. When you do this, so there will be the GL determination which is required, that need to be, do it. So for a store, for a smaller store, stores may, like, which are standby stores. So for that, whatever the GL determination is there, so that you need to create it up. And this is smaller GL determination. Sorry, chart of account has been created here. So for a standby store, basically cash account and like tax account, stock account, such kind of, only the few GL accounts are, you can see here in the liability, or like in other uh, the draws. Also, few accounts are only created, like in expenditure as well, only the expense related, because whatever the related GL are required to store, those only created in a, like bigger like the main organization of the company can have a like larger, or like like expanded chart of account. So that also can be there, but definitely for the standby store we don't need, uh, we may not need that detailed, or like so many accounts into that if any store is offline, for the, because final accounting is going to happen in the HO itself. So it depends, but we need a chart of account here. So after doing that, so one is that warehouse, another is that the, you know GL we required for here as well. And so next will be, we will required is that the uh, cost centers. So we can enable the dimensions. Already we have a dimension one here, which you can consider as the store dimensions, because dimensions we can define two cost centers here, as and when you can enable that, and you can say that this is particularly dimension one is the store. So why this is required? When we will post any sales or sale, or like through, when whatever the sale is happening, which can be directly impact on the revenue with the cost center. So in the posting of the journal entry for the sales invoice, so cost center will get like linked with in the journal entry. So in this you can see the dimension one for the store S008 has been configured here, and in another store the another dimension has been linked. So when we do this, definitely if we want to add it any another cost center, which is the SAP standard cost center functionality, which we are using here, that for that definitely need to create a cost center this way. As and when this happens, so we also required the price list. Okay, so why this price list is required? because when we are creating the items, okay, so which price list will get applied to which stores. So usually if customer is updating all sales prices in price list one, so that is why you have to link exactly what is your sale price. This is specifically for the sales. What will be the sale prices that can be linked to that particular store, and for that you have to definitely you can rename the price list and you can link it here. And after the warehouse and the series and the chart of account, you will be required the customer. So there is one of the customer available here. So why this customer is required? Whatever the retail sale is happening, so it is posting against one single customer, which is cash customer. And whatever the credit invoice we will be making for the like wholesale customers, which for which we are dealing on the credit basis. So for that, the separate customer code is getting created as and when we are registering the credit customer. So for cash customer, whatever the sale from the retail counter is happening is getting no, like sales invoice is like you can say the AR invoice is getting posted against this particular customer directly. And what will be the tax code? Default tax code, you can define it here. Apart from that, you can define the tax code determination also. So if the tax code determination is available, so B1Bazaar will take care of that also. So it will check first the tax code determination and then only it will come to the tax defined here. So we required the customer. So definitely you can see here. Okay. So there can be the customer, cash customer. There can be one customer for each store. So you will be able to identify exactly whatever the sale is, all like AR invoices are created for that particular store. So can be like determined easily. And so that is why you can create the store-wise cash customer as well. As for the need, you can do it. Like I can decide it exactly how the configuration or like how customer required the things, or else you can link entire sales against one customer as well. Okay, so that is the part of the configuration how the requirement is coming out from the customers when we are doing this. So only the thing is that required is that bill to and ship to the address is required. Apart from that, it won't be a register customer. Okay, it will be just a you can see the unregistered customer and for the GST as in like Indian configuration. But whatever, at least bill to and ship to address should be there along with the state and country. And so there can be a different state as the stores are in the different states. So in that case, definitely you may require if any taxes challengers are coming there. So in that case, you may need to create the state-wise sometime the customers because in different states, state tax codes are different. So may need to define the customers, cash customers according to that. So conclusion is that according to state also the taxes is getting changed. So you may need to create the different customers. So in that the state and state can may be different on the for the cash customers. Next is that there are few accounts which are required like some of the there is the clearing account for the advance can be also linked here, like against the sales order the customer is paying some the advances, so what exactly the clearing amount sorry account is there, so that we can link it up here. Further to that, the GL determination for the store is that whatever the cash is getting collected by this particular store will be for that particularly the GL. You have to assign the account here, GL account here, and for the vouchers also, whatever the because vouchers are also one of the part of the expense itself. So what are the points and the vouchers are redeeming at store at the time of the payments, so that impact will go into which accounts, so that need to be defined here. And also uh, the that particular store checks and transfers, bank transfers are linked to which like account, that need to be defined here. Some of the information you can see exactly here is that when the store is opened, what kind of store type you can create a store types as well, and also you can define a territory for the which is coming from the B1 territory, like master itself, and you can define what is who is the manager for the store, and there can be a like salesperson for the store. So these like salesperson and the sales manager is coming from the sales employees and buyers here. So you can create the sales employees, and when you are creating any sales employees you can define the store for the sales employees as well. So when you are saying that, uh, you can define some how the targets for that particular sales employee will be based upon the how the incentive type, like on the basis of the target, how the calculation will happen daily or like monthly it will happen the calculation, and the incentive basis, so that you can for the sales employee these kind of the incentive related settings can be happen, and that particular employee can be linked to a store, so you have to define a store code here. So whatever the styles employee you are creating, you will be able to select for the in manager and the sales employee here. Whatever the series are created when you are create already you have been created the series also, so that need to be like linked here. What is the default currency for that particular store, that need to be defined here. Price list have been mentioned, so price list need to be defined. Also in the some of the default warehouses and taxes for the like and customers also, customers transfer customer vendor customer transfer tax. So this is related to basically um, for the you can see that there is one of the option available related to this offline store. So when it come to the sync part, it is required, else it is not directly required. Document posting to SAP. So when you are creating any wholesale receipt directly, so there is one of the setting I have been shown that is here. What will be the pause wholesale receipt? One is that you can define here. This is entirely applying to the organization. In any case, the store specific document is different, so that can be also you can set it here. Next is that there are default setting for the new customers. So when the new customer is getting created, like you can see that new credit customer is getting created, so through for the wholesale sales, so that time exactly which price list for that particular customer should get applied, it should be get linked in which customer group directly, These are all customer groups, and also the control account for that particular, like customers which are creating directly from the B1Bazaar, like in wholesale. Just okay, as we have been done the setting of the day closing mandatory, so it is not allowing. But okay. So there is the option available, like these are all the credit customers in wholesale, and when this customer is getting created, so there are the setting available when you are creating any credit customer. So definitely company name, address, and other taxation detail need to be provided, and you can add it. So when the you are registering any customer from the store directly, so for that the default some control account group and price list for that customer, you can define it on the store level. But one thing need to be like consider here is that when whatever the you know you can say that group is defined here, need to assign as a default. Okay, so that one of the like setting need to be considered. Whatever the customer group you are giving providing there, that need to be defined as a set as a default at least, so then you won't be face any challenge while creating any credit customer. So this way, some predefined the information is required to configure any store. So how you can create a store, like I'm creating a store number 9 here, and this is next store. Okay, and you can define a date of the opening. Then these information, as explained, is required. Apart from that, there are some the like day closing SMS should be sent to which mobile number. So you can that there is a facility available uh, of the day closing activity as mentioned. So as and when day closing is done, so one of the SMS should be sent to which number. So that like a mobile number can be integrated here. Also, approval related, like some of the internal approvals are required as per the setting. So for that particular, can see in the screen itself. Okay, send internal messages for approval. So at that point of time, it will take the SMS approval will send to this particular number. Also, you can say that. Uh, we can say that internal approval should be sent to which user, that user can be also uh, linked, so and also with the email ID. Next is that we have to define the sales employee series, everything we can define it for this particular store. And next is that we have to define the address of the store. So as the already the address is mentioned in this particular store, just I am opening that and showing here. Okay. So such kind of the information we have to update here. So this is particularly the address part which need to be get updated, and this is the receipt printing. So what exactly the title should get print on the receipt, and what is the email ID and mobile number that need to be printed on the receipt part. So for that purpose, you have to put the detail here. So will get printed on the receipt. Now, these are some taxation detail. The tax ID and company ID can be entered. Along with that, you can define some of the employee here, like uh, which who is the regional manager, store manager, and salesperson for the stores can be like entered here, and those email ID and mobile numbers and SMS should be or email should be sent. So such kind of the information you can send it there. And there is a store detail. In some stores are on the rental basis, so that information can be entered here, exactly related to the area, carpet area, super carpet area. Those the store dimensions can be entered, and further deposit has been given, or like some of the owner names. So this store related details can be entered here. So when you put the address, you have been configured your stores. So when you do this, now you can do your user assignment. So user assignment is important part, because you can see that this particular user is belonging to which stores that need to be, you can define it here this way. What is the your the like warehouse for this particular warehouse? That means the store warehouse, uh, exactly which warehouse is there for this user will be. So that warehouse need to be defined according to the store. Then similarly, tailoring warehouse is also there when we enable the tailoring module basically. So in that case also we can define the tailoring warehouse. What will be the customer? So what will be the default customer for that particular um, store will be? So can be also linked here. What will be the default tax code for the user? So this is particularly the user level default setting which can be set it upon here, and to this particular user, that means which is the sales person, that also can be linked. So why this is required? Because when you the sales is happening at that point of time, the sales employee and other stuff which need to be determined for that user, so will get determined based upon the user store assignment. So basically you can define store each user can be assigned to each store. Next, the question can come here is that if any user is having the multiple store accesses, then what will happen? So um, there is an option available, and one of the critical part can be there is the price list. Okay, so one store can have the two counters. One is for the wholesale and another is for the retail. So in that case, that another like the counter, or like they use different user is like making the invoices, or like sales receipt to the another price list, and another user is making the sales invoices at the same store. Because you can see here on the store level there is a price list which is default one, but at the user end also the price list can be like defined. So for in the same store, and there is a default price, but on the user level there is a different price list can be also configured. So based upon that, the item price list will get determined, and the for the items. The question was, uh, if the one of the user is have controlling the two stores, or like having the multiple store access, so what will happen? In that case, there is a like store mapping, user store mapping option available, which I have been already showed. So in that, you can define that particular user. This need to be getting increased with the code, but definitely you have to provide the user code of here, and you can define the different stores accessories available to this particular user, along with the max discount on that particular store is. So how it shows basically, in this particular screen there is available option as the change store. So when the like these the multiple store are allocated, or like access is given to the single user, So he can say that I am right now in this particular store, and later on I can change it. I can go directly to this store. So this, when we are doing this, it will ask me to close all forms first, and the store will get changed when I close all forms. So user assignment default is available. Along with that, one of the user can have the different store accesses that also can be given through user store mapping here. So after this, definitely we will require to set some of the payment related in like settings which need to be because in credit cards I haven't show because this is the available directly now on the credit card part which we can do it here. So further to that, once we have configured entire store here, now we can say that we can assign the that particular store to a user. We can assign the same store to a a single user can have the multiple store access, like new store is created which can have the access to existing users can be defined here.